Hi, my name is Cheryl Glover, and I have been using Rife now for just a few months. I took a visit to my cousin, and when I was at my cousin's, I was complaining about hip pain problem, and the hip pain problem started getting worse, and she said, "Let me put you on my Rife machine." I said, "What's a Rife machine?" And she said, "Well, it's something that can remove your pain." And I was like, "What? It can remove my pain?" I said, "How could anything, remove your pain? Isn't that what we do for, drugs?" And she said, "Oh, well, this uses, something similar to radio waves. They're energy waves, kind of what you use for hands-on healing." I was like, "Yeah, is what I use for hands-on healing." She said, "Yeah, this is called radionics." And so she started giving me some of the history of Dr. Abrams and about electromagnetic frequency, and he suggested that they could kill diseases or cancer cells by sending an electrical impulse that is unique to the disease electromagnetic frequency in that cell. And they've been using it for things like Lyme disease and AIDS, as an example. And I said, "Well, those are big things, viruses, bacteria, cancer cells. Okay, killing those would be incredible, especially right now with what is going on in the world. So how are you supposed to, align that to what is going on in the world and what this machine says it could do?" So again, she said, "Yeah, well, they're saying that these tumors give off specific electromagnetic frequency, EMFs." And Rife developed a microscope where he could detect some of these things. So in the 1930s, he developed another machine called the Rife frequency generator, and he claimed it produced low energy frequency waves that would match with, cancer causing waves or virus or disease, whatever they happen to be. This frequency was the oscillatory rate. Now you have to remember that back in the 1950s or 40s, actually, they didn't believe any of that. Okay, and a lot happened. The government had taken all their research, the government shut them down, the government did everything in favor of big business, and none of the uh, information basically was allowed to see the public. But in the 80s, the author Barry Lynd's regenerated, it ignited, this interest in the Rife machine. He claimed that the AMA and government agencies were covering up evidence about the Rife machine, and surely, we have seen a lot of it. So today, we offer you the Rife 101, which was grandfathered as it precedes the FDA rules. However, it is offered for personal experimentation purposes only, and the FDA will tell you, we are going to tell you, that it cannot cure you. Only a drug offered by a doctor can do that, according to the FDA. Additionally, you know that this was in the 1950s. It was confiscated by the FDA and hid from the public. But because of time, it's generally assumed that it is safe. It is grandfathered over. And the testimonies were destroyed. And in the 80s, other companies started slowly bringing it back. We have to tell you by the FDA that the Rife 101 energy system has not been evaluated by the FDA and is not intended to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose disease. So Rife is considered one of the greatest medical minds of the century. And he could cure diseases, he said, by shattering the membranes of viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites through the use of EM. The Rife 101 has a bioimpedance matching system, which gives superior results, they claim. And this proprietary feature overcomes the resistance of the body that usually degrades the frequency, along with pure square waves and rich harmonics that allow for higher mortality rate of the harmful organisms such as viruses. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a list of testimonies, and we have hundreds and hundreds of these from people, from the back pain, which she said her mom's been using the machine, and she's in the early 70s, and this has really helped. You can read this for yourself. And this is psoriasis. Surely Dave has psoriasis, so we can attest to this, how he has shown incredible improvement using this machine for the last 3 months. And this is the flu virus, okay, where she didn't get it and all of the other people got that, similar to something that's going on right now. And this is throat cancer. And even though you see this, it's important for you to work with your medical professional in your medical team that basically is handling what you're handling. And this can be used for evaluation to see if it is helpful to you. And finally, here's one that somebody has multiple things that they're using the machine on: chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, celiac disease, candida, Epstein-Barr, neck pain, etc., etc. My own experience is that many of you know I suffered from migraine-type headaches plus vertigo for a number of years, actually. And I went to 7 different doctors, and nobody could really resolve it. It actually is a weak disc in my neck, and it's helpful with massage therapy, etc. However, once I got on this machine, I haven't had any muscle problems, and I've been in, well, we all have been in high stress situation. So I can attest to it personally. It has literally removed my pain from my neck, which I walked around 24/7 for years with. And so I'm very happy in my own evaluation, and you, of course, must evaluate it for your own usage. So this is just a brief list of the programs that are included. These are known diseases where they lined up the frequency. A lot of times the frequency cross over and work with the same thing. So on this first page, you can see I just highlighted some, allergy, arthritis, blood pressure, cancer as an example. But it goes all the way to anthrax and boilers and acne and anemia, chicken pox, and bone infections, etc. And more detoxification, which we use after every time we run for something. Headaches, heart disorders, flu, diabetes, and heartburn, reflux, etc. Depression, dandruff, epilepsy, hair loss, hay fever, etc., etc. And infections and joint pain, Lyme disease, muscles, pain, rheumatoid arthritis, pneumonia, stroke, tendon, etc., etc. You have to understand that these are specific, but there are in general programs that help you with a perhaps disease that has not been listed. Things like general pain, general disease, muscles, joints, disorders, infections, injuries, neurological, parasites, and really important, viruses, including mutating viruses, because the frequency basically covers the lower and the higher of finding those mutating viruses and can oscillate with it. Okay, so it's important to understand how this works. So if at the outside, the Rife machine can take out 25% of different pathogens or 25 of the most significant threat that your body is going through. Your body would be better able to fight the remaining pathogens because it has more self-defense resources to deal with. So right now, when there's a pandemic going on, it is important that your body have the ability to fight pathogens. And if this machine will take the fight, have 1/4% of the fight, it can mean the difference between you recovering or not recovering. So what this does is gives your body more time to defend against what it needs to defend against, even by removing the pathogens that you already have. So for example, if I have a pathogen in my body, towards epilepsy, and my body just continually fights for the epilepsy, it doesn't have time to fight incoming attacking pathogens. So if the Rife machine can be used to take care of that epilepsy, then I have more weapons. I have 100% of the ability to fight the pathogens of an unknown virus coming in. And give you another example. Our body works this way. For example, we have immunity to something like measles when we've already had measles. It's the same thing here. This gives your body more ability to self-defense. But of course, it has not been evaluated by the FDA, and so you have to make that evaluation for yourself. So again, and this cannot be emphasized more resources would be available to attack the remaining pathogens, and our body would have more energy and material to devote to their cell repair and life-extending functions. Either way, it's a win because it takes care of either what was beforehand and you have more ability to fight the pathogen load. And the other way is it actually could possibly fight those pathogens directly by using the Rife machine. And what about other things that come in and attack us? So, for example, there's a lot of talk about radiation in the air, GMO food, other toxins, pesticides, and things we don't even know about that are out there. The biggest thing that this machine can offer you if you're using it for evaluation are detox frequencies, because detox removes some environmental contaminants that come in. So when you evaluate it for detox, it's important that it remove those pathogens. Detox is also important because we talked about it fights pathogens, and it fights pathogens by attacking it with a radio frequency wave. What happens to those pathogens when they die? Okay, they go out towards your body when you drink water. They also go out immediately if you run a detox program on them. So the detox is one of the most important features of the 101 Rife frequency generator. This was so exciting to me because people always ask me, how come in Reiki you just put your hands on anywhere? Like, I'm known as a Reiki master for constantly putting my hand on people's head. And they always say, but my foot hurts. How come you put it on my head? And I do that because Reiki is full spectrum. It actually will go where you're needing the healing. The way it works is it triggers the brain's self-healing properties. And the Rife machine works in a very similar way in that it can trigger the full spectrum of certain things. So let me explain what happened to me. I was using the machine, like I told you, on my hip. And I was using it to get rid of this general infection program. We're running pretty heavy now with a pandemic out in the world. So we run this once or twice a week and general infections in order to not pick anything else up and to clear ourselves. And I was running kind of a general program on myself, and all of a sudden this bump I had on my shin that had been there for about 5 years, I had fallen. And being over 60, I basically had a bump on my shin. It was still black and blue. It hurt if you touched it. And the day after I used the Rife machine, I looked down at my shin and it was gone. The pain was gone. It was fine to touch. There was no bone there, bump there, and the bone had completely healed. And I wasn't trying to do that, but the full spectrality of the Rife machine just made it happen. All of a sudden, something else in there. And one of the reasons is because there's a lot of cross frequencies in some of the programs. So you might be running something to improve your bronchial, okay, in order to have better lung capacity, okay, if you have to go through a virus. And all of a sudden, my heal up is something on your foot or on your toe. I had the same experience actually with toe rot. A number of years ago, about 10 years ago, I had toe rot. And when I had the toe rot, it left discoloring, and my nail was discolored. And using the Rife machine, all of a sudden, my nail cleaned up, and I wasn't definitely running anything like that. So it does have some surprising, but again, according to the FDA, you must use this for your own evaluation. This is for evaluation only. So what do you get with the Rife 101? Okay, it's cordless and rechargeable. It's easy to read. It includes all the known frequencies, the unique bioimpedance matched energy waves. It's compact, lightweight, and it comes with a 90-day money-back guarantee. It is always the latest technology, as it can be updated for you, factory adjusted. It's a gentle, soft start. You can store custom programs. And for example, we're using a coronavirus program. And I'm not making any claims about it. You can use it for your own evaluation. And you get all different types of electrodes. Some of them have sticky on the back, and some of them you can hold on to, or you can have the wrist, okay? And there's a 1-year system warranty. You also get the comfortable carbon rubber hand electrodes, stainless steel wristbands, self-adhesive flexible electrodes, carbon rubber permanent electrodes, manual with over 300 programs, a 20-minute quick start DVD, powerful internal rechargeable battery for cordless use, Rife 101 approved AC adapter, sturdy carrying case for the Rife, which is really great case, and a see-through backpack so you can just wear it around the house or wherever you need to be wearing it. Well, since quarantine, the only way to actually engage is to purchase one for your own use. And if we were in quarantine, I was going to help run programs on people, but our only choice is for purchase in this current environment. And in addition to all the things that I mentioned, okay, with the backpack, the leads, you get 2 custom programs in addition to the 300 other programs. And the custom programs we program for you. You get 2 for free. If you want more, it's $50. But as an example of the programs available, you can have the cancer one, the eye one, the ear one, or the brain one, the heart one. There's an arthritis one, there's a nerves one, a Lyme, a lungs, a diabetes, parasite, an osteoporosis, etc. So the choice is yours. You'll see it on the checkout cart. You can just pull down the 2 programs that you want, and if you want an additional one. But again, all these programs, 300 programs, are included in what you get. So how do you get it? You go to touchmotherearth.info/Rife, go to the cart, and pull down your 2 programs, and add it to the cart, and we ship out within a few days of receiving your order. Again, I have to repeat for you that this is only for evaluation. It has not been evaluated by the FDA and is not intended to prevent, cure, treat, or diagnose disease. The Rife 101 energy system is sold for and may only be used for individual non-therapeutic investigative study. Substantially similar instruments have been available prior to May 28, 1976, eliminating the need for FDA approval. Results may vary and are not guaranteed in any way. To obtain the complete Rife machine, you can purchase it on www.touchmotherearth.info/Rife, and there is a pull-down box for you over there, and you get everything plus the 2 programs. And again, this is for your own evaluation. Thank you so much for listening to our program, and to all of you, be safe and good health.